Tic Tac Toe, one of the greatest games of all time, and I gotta be one of the worst Tic Tac Toe players in the world because I can literally never win. But it's 2023 and no one really uses boring old pencil and paper anymore. We need something new, so in this video I'm gonna turn the classic game of Tic Tac Toe into a video game with ultra realistic graphics and then prove to everyone that I am not the worst. Okay, so first I loaded up Unreal Engine and created a new project with RTX enabled. So the plan is to first get the basic game mechanics of Tic Tac Toe, and then from there I'll make it look amazing with beautiful graphics and add 5 different levels, each with their own theme. But there's one problem. I just recently learned how to make games and I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. So I went to YouTube, looked up how to create a Tic Tac Toe game, and did what I do best. Followed a tutorial.
Hello and welcome. Today we will be creating the simple game of Tic Tac Toe from scratch on Unreal Engine 4.
After that extremely boring but pretty helpful tutorial, I started making the game board. Then created the X and O models in Blender and put them in Unreal. I tried adding the game mechanics that would be used throughout the entire game, which you'd think would be really easy because it's just Tic Tac Toe, but holy, it was way harder than I expected. And after a ton more crashes and fixing stuff, I managed to get it all working. To wrap up the basic game, I made a simple main menu screen with a level selector and an options menu with different graphics settings. Okay, so next on the to-do list is sound design. I thought I would try making the sound effects on the piano, so I whipped out a keyboard that I had laying around and got to work. I'm no Mozart, but I can make some pretty good music. But after listening to the audio on my computer, I had to try something else. I opened GarageBand for the first time in like years, and after messing around a bit, I made something I was happy with. Then I plopped it into Unreal and added some code to get it working. Time for the best part, making the levels. For the first level, I wanted the game board to be an old tree stump and have grass and flowers surrounding it, but I needed a ton of high quality models and textures if I wanted it to look as realistic as possible. Thankfully, there's a massive library of 3D scans from Quixel's Megascans that's completely free with Unreal Engine. So first I found a simple grass texture for the ground, and then I decided which tree stump model to use. Next, I got a bunch of different grass, flowers, and bush models and placed it around the scene. For the Tic Tac Toe grid, I wanted it to fit the scene, so I found some small sticks and then used them to make a grid. To finish up the first level, I found a wood texture for the X and O pieces and made them slightly different colors. Here's how it turned out. For the second level, I drew some incredibly detailed concept art, and my idea for this one is like a nighttime city street with some rain. I started off by making the grid using concrete road blocks. Then I put in the 2 roads and added some dramatic lighting and fog, and it started looking really good already. So next I added the sidewalks and some details to the road like cracks and debris to make it look more realistic. I spent a ton of time placing this knocked over carton with fruit all over, but in the end I didn't like it, so I also tried messing around with some cool lights, but it didn't really work out either, so I knew some of you guys would comment on the floating streetlights, so I had to add some poles so they would actually look like streetlights and not something from Minecraft. They technically still don't connect or anything, but it's whatever, they just lights. I fixed up the sidewalks and added cracks to them too. Then I put some buildings on the sides and some trash to make it look like a real city. Cause like, literally all cities are just full of trash. It's actually crazy. I had to make the X and O pieces cool looking, so I gave one a concrete material and the other a metallic one. The level was a little too boring for me, so I thought why not add some cars that drive by every once in a while. So I did exactly that. And found some car models, attached some lights to them, and added some code to make them drive by. I finished up the second level by adding some rain using Unreal Engine's particle system, which is actually way better than Unity's particle system. And in fact, Unity's particle system is complete garbage and I'm tired of people. Okay, time for the third level. I didn't really have an idea for this level, so I kind of just made it up as I went. I made a really nice looking water shader and built a room around that. Then I got the idea to make an underground sand tomb thingy. So I added a sandstone material to everything. Then added some caustics and had way too much fun messing around with the watercolor. We got light blue, very, very dark blue without any blue, and it's really just black or maybe like a dark gray maybe. Blue with a little bit of red blue, red with a little bit of no blue. And, well, that's just milk, basically. Ew. Then blah blah blah, I added some more stuff to make it look better, and bam, level done. The fourth level started out being a lily pad pond, but it wasn't really looking good, so instead I went with the snowy level. Of course, the most important part was the snow, so I found a nice snow texture for the ground and added some displacement to make it 3D. Then I got a bunch of sticks and logs to make the grid, and added a few trees and rocks. I got a genius idea and made a little snowman dude and put some skis next to him. Then to finish it up, I added snow particles, and here it is. For the 5th and final level, I decided to make it underwater. Not like actually make it while being underwater, but like make the level underwater themed. Although now that I think about it, That's a cool idea for a video. I made a game underwater. You know what, subscribe and I'll do that for the next one. Okay, so I found a sand texture and added some caustics, then made everything a little blue to look like it was underwater. I added a bunch of random things like coral, starfish, and some seaweed, and then made the grid and X and O pieces look better with some cool textures. I'm super happy with how this last one turned out. Okay, so now that I have all 5 levels complete and finished this amazing game, it's time to put it to the test and prove that I'm not the worst tic-tac-toe player of all time. So I'm going to be challenging my friend to a single game of tic-tac-toe, and the winner will have the title of not the worst tic-tac-toe player in the world.
Go ahead, man. You first.
Alright, boom.
Okay, bottom.
Bottom, okay, alright. Alright, let me think, okay. I mean, the game's already over, like, I already won, so.
Yeah, alright. No way, you're not gonna beat me.
There. It's over.
Bro, it's where I have to go, left side.
Okay. Alright, smart.
No. No.
What are you gonna do now, huh? Really?
And with that, it's official. I finally achieved my dream of no longer being known as the worst tic-tac-toe player of all time. Alright, so that's the game. Download and play it for yourself with the link in the description below.